And welcome to an all-new Marvelcast Explosion Network's hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers and Defenders to Kingmaker and Lord Darkwind. My name is Ashley Hobley, your podcast host without fear. Joining me today is the astonishing Dylan Blight.
You're looking very green today, was what I was thinking. But there's no Hulk in this. However, Daredevil did, of course, appear in She-Hulk, which is green.
Yes. See, there's a story going around. Like, I'd love someone high up at Marvel is like, I would love to do another season of She-Hulk. It's like one of our most popular, most watched things.
That is shocking, if true. I mean, we thought the show was fine, okay, better than a lot of the other ones, to be honest. But I would struggle to believe it's one of the most popular ones.
Yeah, Brad Windenbaum?
Who's that?
In an interview with, I'm just very quick. So,
is that just some producer?
I assume so, yeah. I assume he was a producer on the actual show. Anyway.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, no, Chief of Marvel Television, Brad Windenbaum.
Okay.
It's one of our best performing shows. Just hit the general audience by appearing on the Escape Pod.
Might have. I mean, the thing is always with, like, you see all the complaints online and how much it was like user downvoted on Rotten Tomatoes and whatever the hell else. It's like, that's just the vocal minority no matter what.
Yeah, the vocal anti-female minority.
Yeah. Just the general population of America right now, right? But yeah, I'd still struggle to believe it's one of the most popular ones just because I'm like, is She-Hulk a huge character? I don't know. Maybe I don't know anything.
Maybe it's just the tone of the show is quite different to everything else, you know? So.
True.
You're all big Cardi B fans.
Sure.
But today we're not talking about She-Hulk, but you can go back and listen to our episode breakdown of all the episodes of She-Hulk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm still in plug-in mode from this week. Today we're talking about the latest episode of Daredevil Born Again Season 2, so let's dive right in. We're talking about Episode 4, Gloves Off, directed by Solvan, Slick Naim, written by Chantelle Wells. Dylan, what do you think of this week's episode of Daredevil Born Again?
Yeah, enjoyed it. Don't think it was as good as last week's or anything, not as eventful, but had some good, memorable moments within it. And, obviously some good action stuff. The opening scene with the Bullseye was a lot of fun to see that. And then obviously the Fisk boxing fight was a bit of fun as well. But it did feel like a little bit of I don't know, like the Daredevil, like it felt like 10-15 minutes of him doing that investigation to find him stuff, and I didn't find that particularly interesting. Like, we've sort of seen that stuff before, and then just a little bit of the flashback and even the conversation with the dude in the church and everything. I just didn't feel like it was overall very like meaningful to the episode or the story of any of these characters. It was just hitting on similar beats we've seen before. I nearly feel like you could have just replaced all of that with something else and just had Daredevil. Like, if you just said, he's like, I'm going to find him, and then he just finds him later, I'm like, I wouldn't have needed to have seen how he found him. Like, I know how he, like, at this point finds him. So, and then I'm also a bit like, maybe if it was going to kill off Mrs. Fisk this episode, you could have devoted a little bit more. Well, I'm presuming she's dead, right? You could have devoted a little bit more to her screen time, instead to give her a bit more time or something. But I don't know. I think it was fine. It was just that I felt like the investigation stuff wasn't particularly necessary.
Yeah, I think it was a solid episode. I feel like probably maybe slightly overshadowed with the opening with Bullseye kind of giving you a look at his psyche and just the way it was. It felt like kind of a short film of, it was like, with the Punisher one shot coming out soon. I believe the actor who plays Bullseye is like, I'd love to do one of those with Bullseye. So this felt like a test case for that. It's like, let's do a tiny, example of what that would be. But yeah, I think, and had a solid cliffhanger. We, get to learn a little bit more, I guess, about different people. But yeah, I think it was solid. It wasn't like a must-see episode. So let's dive in. Reading from number one movie source, Wikipedia. Dex brutally massacres a squad of AVTF officers after luring them to a diner. That's how we open things. Interesting that Dex apparently is just renting an apartment, making his bed, eating eggs in the morning, while Matt and Karen are like hiding in every single makeshift abandoned building in New York that they can find, I think is a fun juxtaposition.
I appreciated them just showing his, obviously his OCD-ness, I guess. Attention to detail, stuff like that.
Yep. Seeing his stretching regime, and that's how he stays fit, and then clicking his arms. I guess that's to showcase he's got the metal bones or whatever.
Yeah.
From when he,
I assume something like that, yeah.
Almost got paralyzed the first in season 3. The Netflix series. What was I going to say? Fun. I'm sure, like usual, you probably skipped over the previously on. They made sure in the previous line to have the shot of him in the elevator and really highlight the blue tint, which clicked in so much so that I don't know if you noticed, but the Marvel logo was blue.
It was blue. Yes, I did see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
because it opened with him instead, I guess.
This episode, no blue tint. So
no
what
blue
the fuck's
tint.
up with that? Your theory is a load of crock.
Yeah, I know, right? It's just,
or maybe it was
confusing.
No, was he in the second episode or the third episode?
Second episode.
It was the second episode, so maybe it's the what's it's a Benson and Moorhead thing rather than the other director.
I don't know. It's an editing thing, right? They're not shooting it in blue, so you'd think it would just stay. But I'm glad after last week that well, true.
They come across with the camera,
the fucking cellophane over it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you now know what the blue tint is after last week.
Yes, yeah.
I'm glad you no longer think I'm
I've also seen several people point out that they were doing it last season as well, apparently. So, yeah, fun. But yeah, it was a fun setup to, him taking out a bunch of task force. Just hate calling them whatever they call it. The abbreviation is not very helpful either. I mean, weirdly incredible wish fulfillment, this sequence. It's like, at the end of this sequence, do you feel like Bullseye is a bad guy?
Well, yeah, he's still the bad guy, right? I mean,
a bad guy, but he's
a bad guy. I mean, ultimately, he's done more bad than good. Whether or not my personal beliefs are we should kill bad people, but he's still killed obviously too many innocents to be considered a good guy just because he's now killing some bad guys.
Yeah.
Before you even get into the moral dilemma of, is it okay to kill anyone?
Yeah, that's true. I will say my big gripe with this scene, he paints his symbol on the door with ketchup.
Which I don't believe you could do.
Not in a way that it doesn't drip at any point. It's like it's been he's been able to somehow make it dry as he's doing it.
It's weird because I also annoyed me a little bit, and it's funny how I'm more bothered by the believability of that than him bouncing objects off things and managing to hit people. I can somehow be like, yep, totally believe that. The source thing though,
don't believe any of that.
Don't believe it. I struggle to get
flying everywhere. Yeah,
that's the level. I struggle sometimes to get my sauce to go the way I want it to go on my plate, let alone on a window.
Yeah. How's he doing it? It's like, he's treating it like this sauce like it's a marker, and it's not. It's crazy. The other gripe I have with this is you have an establishing shot of the lobster tank.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do something with it. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I don't know a lot about diners in America.
Lobster's a choice.
But they don't seem like lobster would be
on the menu.
On the menu, especially in the middle of New York, maybe in like Maine or something. It's like, some seaside town that, captures lobsters on the regular,
Not in the middle of New York City.
Yeah. Or some random. And then, especially when the best thing the waitress can recommend is a milkshake,
Milkshake, yeah.
If you're like, we do. Why wouldn't you? We do lobsters.
We do great lobster.
Place in New York. But yeah, that was a sequence. And it's probably the most memorable thing from this week.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, Karen, and Kristen record testimonies of the Red Hook detainees. Angela pays a friend to discreetly get the evidence to BB. skipping a bunch of steps there, but yes, the first mate from the ship.
The ship, whatever it's called.
Comes
They said it
in.
a million times and I don't remember it.
Something dumb. The Northern Star
There we go.
comes, finds them, and gives his testimony. Karen goes to Kirsten, wanting her help after they are raided by ice.
Yep.
In another disturbing scene, because it is so close to what we imagine them doing. Just going in and saying, we don't need a fucking warrant to come in and throw every single sheet of paper all over the place. But yeah, she is suddenly on board very quickly. Even though Karen does not disclose where Matt is, despite being asked.
No. Well, I mean, she wouldn't tell people she even trusts because it just puts them at risk,
yeah, Matt's Daredevil, so everybody's talking to Daredevil now,
Yeah.
And Angela's wearing the necklace and hiring someone to get to BB. Again, this episode we opened with another Kingpin direct, kind of filling us in on all the backstory. So I think that was pretty a helpful device. It's like trying to explain why he's doing this boxing match. It's like it's going to help fund whatever initiative that is helping the city. Tony Dalton looks like he's not going to be in the show anymore. So
yeah,
congrats, Dylan. You were right about that. But he did leave him his credit card, so don't have to worry about. You don't have to figure out how they're doing, how they're getting all the funds that they're going to get.
Funds now, yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, he's the financier, behind everything. And also, it sounded like he was wearing those same clothes for 6 months, which seems crazy, and would probably smell terrible.
I don't think there's a problem about it.
It's like, man, all they need to do is get some sniffer dogs out there, and they'll be able to track him down. The stench would be so terrible. But yeah, all right. Mr. Charles attempts to coerce Fisk into restarting Red Hook's arms shipments, but Fisk warns Charles to be patient after his fixer, Buck Cashman, dispatches Charles's backup. Cool to see. What's his face back this week? Matthew.
Oh, Matthew, yeah. I complained last week and now he's back, so. Very good scene.
Yes.
Having a lot of fun with him. Especially
Shout
the part
out
where
for
he
the Australian representation.
Yeah, where he lays down sideways on the thing.
He's talking about wombat poop.
Yeah. They stack it up.
I'm shitting bricks myself. But yeah, we are getting to understand what he's there for. They're trying to, I don't know, nation make, I guess, by trafficking arms through Fisk Port to foreign nations, so they can,
Wars.
the rebels can take over the country or whatever, shit like that.
Who's he say he works for? He's
makes
like,
more
we
sense.
work for the agency or whatever the hell he was.
Well, it's implied that he works at the CIA, probably because he's working for
who love to give weapons to
Vanessa.
People
foreign nations,
fun wars and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, Fisk is not taken lightly to the threats and just straight up murders the other two dudes he brings in. So that's a good time.
That guy's a shot. I'll give him that.
Vanessa visits McCaffrey and convinces her to permit Red Hook's operation. Interesting scene, just because it sets up. It's like showing this scene, I think, is there to explain it, reassert to the audience that Vanessa is kind of the one holding Fisk from going past the edge.
Yeah.
Going to that dark side that he is kind of implies that he might be going to during the fight later on.
And which is why I believe she's dead, because that would give him
he's
going to fall off the edge.
Of course, this after he asks her not to be at the fight because he doesn't want to.
She could be in danger.
Well, yeah, I think it's quickly established that the fight is actually a trap to get Bullseye to come come get him. Yeah, that's a thing. What happens next? Matt worries that Dex will attempt to assassinate Fisk, so he investigates the diner while disguised as a task force officer. I'll admit, didn't realize it was Matt for
really
until he jumped over.
Really?
It's like, man, these fucking nice people just telling everybody what they do. Leading him to Clinton Church. Yeah, it was nice seeing Matt back in the church, though. I think that was probably praying. Him who lost his faith the last time we kind of saw him in a church. So that was nice, and then kind of being able to figure out where he was and sounding him out or whatever. So Anyway, Matt finds Dex at his apartment, but he escapes. I think this is interesting because I'm just very intrigued by Dex's mindset because what does he say? Something along the lines of, I'll make your friend's death right by doing this for you.
So he goes on about a good deed.
Yeah, he wants to do a good deed in killing Fisk, which will, make up for killing
Foggy Nelson.
Foggy Nelson, yes. That's an interesting wrinkle, I guess. Like, because last time we saw him in the second episode, he's like, what are you looking for? Absolution. So, is he turning over? And then he calls himself a good guy at the start of this episode as well. So, has he turned a new leaf and is like this weird anti-hero kind of thing? In his mind he is, but
he's just worried about his he's worried about his karma.
All right. Fisk easily wins a propagandized boxing match at Fogwell Gym. Vanessa attends against Fisk's wishes as the match was meant as a trap to lure Dex out. Dex attacks, gets shot by Vanessa, and throws a piece of glass merchandise towards Fisk, with which Fisk smashes using his winner's belt. Matt prevents Fisk from killing Dex, and they escape. A glass shard hits Vanessa in the head, causing her to bleed profusely and collapse. The fight shot really well, kind of like reiterating like how intimidating Fisk actually is as like a threat.
Yeah, I mean, the thing to me is like the audience should know that like we've seen him beat the shit out of people before. You know he's a threat. It's just been a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the thing I was thinking about is no, the public hasn't seen him.
Yeah, that's the thing because everybody kind of looks shocked and it's like almost disgusted by the way he takes this reputable fighter out. It
was like 38-2 or something record. So
yeah, so he's pretty good. Or is like booked really well. But yeah,
he also says to the guy like he doesn't need a mouth guard because the guy won't even lay a hand on him.
Yeah,
which he wasn't laying a single hand on him until Vanessa came in, obviously. So
also a belt after one fight, that's a bit obnoxious, right? But yeah, was that the intention when he threw the glass for Fisk to shatter it and then the glass to go into Vanessa?
No, I think it was just going to go into Vanessa.
Coincidence. It's like it's bad luck for Vanessa's front.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Do you not think she's dead? Do you think she's going to survive?
I don't think so. I reckon she'll be like in a coma or something. She'll be in hospital and that'll be a thing. Maybe Daredevil will have to keep watch because Dex will try and pick her off or something. Either way, it's a case of she is out of the picture, and now McCaffrey is going to be concerned about Fisk's morality going forward. You know what I mean? So, I'm not sure they would kill her off, but who knows? That seems like a big move.
No, I guess that would make sense. If she's not killed off, her being in a coma and like him getting the news that they're not sure if she'll ever come out of it is basically the equivalent of death anyway. Like it's just the removing of her from his day-to-day life is enough to send him into a spiral and be the direction the series then heads to reach his own downfall, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. One other thing I wanted to touch on before we finish up, there's a scene with BB and Daniel again, where BB gets an information dropped into a pocket, and Daniel like looks at her for a second before making the crack. Oh, I didn't know I was here with the celebrity. Do you reckon he knows? Do you think he clocked it, or is he? You think he is oblivious?
Yeah, I think he's oblivious.
I feel like
I think
he's looking the other way. You know what I mean? He is so infatuated with her. Joking about it being a date, and not yet. He's willing to turn the other way. Although he does do the jokes about paying full price for tickets when he could have got a discount and all that kind of stuff. So maybe
he's an idiot. He's an idiot. Yeah, he's just an idiot.
Do you think I'm giving him too much credit?
Yeah, I think you're giving him way too much credit.
We'll see. Maybe he's doing the dumb facade. That's his way to get what he wants.
Sure.
Works for me.
Does it? Say more.
I've actually watched all movies, and I just pretend I'm naive every single week.
Got me.
Anything else you want to bring up this episode?
No.
They
Solid
take
episode.
out they kill or capture or kill the first mate, right?
Yep.
That was
he's
one
dead.
important thing. But they've got the
Gunshots.
video testimony, so
Just crazy. Also crazy to me that the US Marshals can just get shot and disappear and no one ever. Like, that's just the thing.
Yeah, there isn't some massive investigation, isn't massive news in New York City.
I don't know if the SD card, they've got the confession obviously on tape, but the SD card that she got given doesn't have the video of him on it. She handed that to the guy before they got that guy's confession. That just has the other people's recordings.
That's true. So, but I'm sure they've got that copy.
I'm sure they
and
do.
You would back that shit up to the cloud as soon as possible.
Yeah, but the thing is, it won't be as like solid evidence without himself.
Without his body.
Yeah.
It's like, where did he go? Disappeared, you know? He's definitely not dead. All right.
How did he find out when he was going to... No, how'd that guy even find out? You know how he gets a text message and leaves Fisk there and goes to deal with him? I'm like, who told him that was even... You know, have they got a mole on inside? Like, how do you know the marshals were picking him up and where to be?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sure they've got a mole in like the marshal's office, or like they're keeping an eye, or they're tracking Kirsten. That would be another thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
They've got like someone tracking her movements. So, all right, let us know what you think of this latest episode of Daredevil Born Again by finding us on social media by going to explosionnetwork.com/follow. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, on Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars and just tell people about the show. And if you want to help us out at Explosion Network with all our other news, reviews, podcasts, head over to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to watch next week's episode of Daredevil Born Again and join us next time for another All New Marvelcast.